Terror on the campus of Evergreen High School, 30 miles west of Denver.
Use caution. Active shooter still down at the high school.
A massive emergency response after a shooter opened fire right about noon. Students evacuating the school as police rushed in.
We now have 2 students performing CPR.
The sheriff's department says 3 victims were rushed to St. Anthony Hospital in Denver. One of them, the shooter.
One patient has non-life-threatening injuries and is stable. The other 2 are critically injured.
It happened in Jefferson County, Colorado, also home to Columbine High School, where 16 people were massacred in 1999, among the worst high school shootings in history. And it comes amid a violent start to the school year. 23 people shot nationwide, including 2 who died. Colorado Governor Polis posting on X today, students should be able to attend school safely and without fear across our state and nation. We are all praying for the victims and the entire community. The sheriff's department says they have now cleared the school and there is no ongoing threat to the community.
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises due to the Most High. Now, on the heels of the Charlie Kirk assassination, another school shooter, this time in Jefferson County, Colorado, 30 miles away from Denver, has shot up another school. And this happened once again at Evergreen High School, if I'm not mistaken. And I must say, you can call me what you want to, but I'm pretty sure that this is a white shooter. And that's going to make a difference later on in the video. But this is, as the person said, the 23rd persons have been shot. I think they say it's been about 47 school shootings this year. Now, I'm going to ask you, how many of those school shootings do you think were performed by Black people? And the reason I say that is because of the recent stabbing on the light rail, where Trump and all of the political people are talking about how tough on crime we have to get, and these criminals and monsters and these thugs and all of this gun violence, and it needs to be stopped. We need law and order. We have to be tough on these individuals. But I'm going to show you some political statements concerning this, and there's none of that. There's none of that talk. You know why? Because it is never really criminalized. It is never really, they don't focus on the violence when white people commit violence. They focus on the victims. Oh, it's just a tough, it's just a tough, we pray for the community. Our school students shouldn't have to, they focus on the victims. But as we see in the light rail stabbing, they're criminalizing every Black person in America because of that. If you've been watching this channel and you saw the Cincinnati brawl, they criminalized the whole Black people. We need tough crime, more law, more of it. None of that is said in these instances. Now, keep in mind, Jefferson County is a population of about 500,000 people, 500,000, with a 90% ratio of white people and a 0.89, less than 1% of Black people. So why are they not saying tough on crime, get these thugs off the streets? We have to do something about these school shootings. All of these white kids running around shooting up schools, they need to be locked up. Why is that not the narrative? Many people have came on my social media page when I talked about the Kirk killing, and they're coming out the woodworks. Their racism is showing because they're saying, well, why you're glorifying? And keep in mind, I'm not glorifying any of these. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy. They said, you're glorifying this stuff, and we're going to pray for you as a Christian. I said, okay, I post videos every day of Black people getting killed by white police officers, Black people getting attacked by white people, Black people, Black women getting beat up by white men. You guys never come to those videos. You never talk about it. You never express sympathy for these people whom I share videos about every day. Now, I shared the video about this white man getting killed by his own, mind you. And now I am the second coming of Satan. You know what I'm saying? So that is the racism. And that's exactly what I pointed out in that video. And also, this is what I'm going to point out in this video. Just take a look at some of the leaders of that town and of the state. And I think the governor and a senator. Just listen at how they address this situation as opposed to they address situations when Black people commit crimes. Just check it out.
She's been gauging the response from folks in Washington to all this, Ashley.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I've covered many of those school shootings Jeremy was just referencing, and we're always getting reaction in the aftermath. News of today's shooting has reached Capitol Hill. We've already heard from all of Colorado's congressional delegation. All of them say they're shocked. All of them say they're praying for the community, and they're sad. I do want to get started with Colorado Democratic Congresswoman Brittany Pedersen. Evergreen falls within her district. She just released a video message on social media a few minutes ago. Here's what she has to say.
I know our state and our community are shocked and terrified with what is happening to the students who are fighting for their lives in the hospital, who are at school, dropped off for the place that they should feel safe, and unfortunately faced a mass shooting. I can only imagine what the parents are going through, what these students just went through, and the staff at the school, and want you to know that we are here to support you in any way that we can be. I'm a mom of a 5-year-old and a 7-month-old, and I know every parent felt the shock and terror seeing those headlines of what was happening and thinking about if that was their kid, their school. We have to do better as leaders to address this epidemic, and we are here to support you every step of the way as we recover from this tragedy.
And we're also hearing from many of our other congressional delegates. Republican Congressman Jeff Hurd, he wrote on social media, as a father of 5, this breaks my heart. No child should ever fear for their safety at school. He also asked for prayers for students, staff, and first responders. And then let's get to the statement from Democratic Congressman Jason Crow. He took a different tone. He said, what a terrible day. Schools should not be shooting ranges. Excuse me, I misspoke. Schools should not be shooting ranges, he said. If thoughts and prayers could fix this, we'd be the safest country in the world. I'm a legislator, and there are laws we can and must pass to protect our families. Also want to get to Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert with just a brief post. It says Charlie Kirk, Evergreen High School, Colorado. Then she referenced a passage from the Bible. Her post, of course, linking the shooting here to another shooting in Utah that happened around the same time this afternoon, involving a conservative influencer who was scheduled to be here in Colorado for an event later on this week. Now, we've heard from many other of our local leaders on both sides of the political aisle, not only the ones who work in Washington, D.C., but also the ones who work right here in Colorado's capital. It's clear that what happened in Evergreen will be part of the political conversation going forward, but it's unclear at this point what that conversation will be like. Ashley Michaels, Fox 31.
And you can even hear it in that news video. Even the reporter tried to point it out. They said the Democrat took a different tone. And even that Democrat didn't go hard. They was like, well, no, school shootings, it should be safety. There are laws that could be passed, to keep students safe. It's prayers could fix everything. It'll be a much safer country. So that Democrat kind of leaned towards what Trump did, but they didn't, he didn't go all the way in. But the reporter, like, I hope you guys notice how, well, just the victims, and I have children too, and the shock and the horror, nothing about the violent crime, the violent shootings. These school shooters need to be stopped. They need to be locked up. We need to, take these white kids and, check their parents' records for guns. None of those things that you're going to hear in this statement that Trump made considering that train stabbing. Just watch the different tone that you're going to hear.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people, really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors. 50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot. And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia. The capital of America was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done. It can happen fast. All we want is...
All right, so I'm going to stop it right there. I think you get the point of this video. He talks about innocent people, very, very innocent people. How more innocent can you get than children going to school? All these school shooters, I think that what happened... what the little transgender guy that shot up the school 2 weeks ago. How much innocent, violent, deranged, monster, depraved, decrepit can you get to shoot up schools when people are in masks? Horrible, bloodthirsty. And so, he talked about the young lady had a magnificent future. How much more so do children going to school? So my point with this is, why is there not the same vitriol, the same tough on crime narrative when it comes to white school shootings as opposed to black people beating up white people on the street in Cincinnati? This is the thing. And once again, I'm not glorifying any death. So don't put that on me, but I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy in these things. So this school shooter shot up, the school. 2 people got hit. One of them is in critical condition. It is my understanding the shooter passed, he unalived himself. So he took the coward way out. But, my thing is all of these school shootings, 47 in a year, but none of those, if you watch any news reports of that, they're focusing on the victims and the sorrow and the shock and the sympathy of those injured, not the criminality, not the need to take guns away from every white kid in America so they won't shoot up schools, not to lock every white kid up, who wears a trench coat. There's no criminalization, mass criminalization of the white race when it comes to these crimes. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment, man. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for liking, watching, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And as always, peace and blessings. The scripture says all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it. You should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it. You should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it. You should tune in to Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now.